I need my checks.
Care Bear, where we at, G?
Look, man, we have to talk about the game tonight. The Texans absolutely ran over the Pittsburgh Steelers 30-6. The defense scored more points than the offense did for the Steelers, and Aaron Rodgers was out there seeing ghosts. I'll let you guys take a look at this right here. This pick six towards the end of the game. I mean, just an absolute killer here for Aaron Rodgers. Guys, looked old out there today.
Talk about it.
Was this the game that finally made Aaron Rodgers realize, the game is lost?
Before I get there, Rome, because it would be disrespectful to talk about Rodgers before I talk about these Texans. It would be disrespectful to talk about the loser before I address the winners. So let me talk about these winners.
Okay.
Can I, Care Bear?
Go ahead.
May I, Rome in the back? May I, sir?
Go ahead.
What we're witnessing with the Houston Texans is a generational defense. Not a good defense, not a great defense, not an elite defense, a generational defense. Aaron Rodgers threw more touchdown passes to Texans defensive backs than he threw to his own receivers. The Texans defense had more touchdowns than Aaron Rodgers, had more touchdowns than Justin Herbert. Hell, they had as many, if not more touchdowns than their own offense. This Houston Texans defense will take the Texans as far as they want to go. And you all missed something during the broadcast. I encourage you to watch it. Shady, he said it sitting next to me. DeMeco Ryans, after they ran in that last touchdown with Woody Marks, he looked to a sideline and he said, wear him out. Because that's the Texans' defensive and collective philosophy. We are going to beat you down until you like it. And that's what this Texans defense did. You got Danielle Hunter, you got Will Anderson. I don't care what voters say, and I'm one of them. They're both all pros. You got Kamari Lassiter and Derek Stingley. I voted for them, both all pros. You got Kalen Bullock, you got Petrie, dominant players. This Texans defense is generational, and so long as this Texans offense just doesn't give the ball away nor the game away, this Texans team will go as far as they want to, Five.
I mean, it's a dangerous defense. You know, when this game even happened, I didn't care what the game was at, Pittsburgh or Houston. They was going to win, and then I don't know if Aaron Rodgers played that bad. Like, it's like, what could he do? When you really watch that game, it's like what the pressure was so enormous. The way they played on defense, they swarmed to the ball. Every tackle you heard the thump, boom, boom, boom. So I just thought that there was nothing the Steelers could do. They couldn't block them, right? And then they're not that type of offense that move the ball all day and all night. And if you watch the game, the Steelers defense played well, right? They gave up some yards. That's cool, but they made turnovers when they needed to.
Yeah.
But CJ Stroud today, you could tell he seemed a little nervous, right? And they moved the ball when they made them turnovers. Yeah. It didn't matter because the defense was that good. Like I thought this game would be like a defensive game. I don't know, 3-12 or something like that. But it's gonna be hard to beat the Texans though, because they run the ball extremely well, and they play great defense. That's all you need.
That's all you need. There's something, y'all know this. I pride myself in a couple things. Knowing defense, I pride myself in. And this is why I get so intense when people throw around the word an elite and generational. Steelers have a good defense, not a great defense, not an elite defense, a good defense. But the delta between the Steelers defense and the Texans defense was 2 touchdowns. Steelers forced turnovers. Shady knows better than anybody. That's all you can ask for as an offense. Just give me a turnover. But the Texans scored points.
I will say this, though. If CJ Stroud plays like that, now that's the thing with him is he played bad, then he played good. Like he's on the battle the whole game.
Yeah.
But you play certain teams like the Patriots.
You can't do that.
And you get them turnovers, they do have an MVP candidate.
Yep.
And Drake May. And I think that he won't, his team is not the Steelers.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
But just having that type of insurance on defense, you'll always be in the game. Yeah. That's why this year it's so hard to see who's going to be in the Super Bowl, because there's a whole bunch of teams that don't have like great quarterbacks.
Yeah.
But when you have a defense that good, and DeMeco Ryans knows that. I played with DeMeco.
Yes, sir.
He always says, if you're going to be a dog, then be a dog. If you watch that defense, it's rare you see cornerbacks and all the safeties are dogs. Normally, you might have some DNs, some big tackles. You might have a stud linebacker. Here and there, you might have one corner or maybe one safety. They all are dogs, and they all swarm. So with that defense, it's going to be hard to beat them.
So let me elaborate on Shady's point, because it was brilliant. Usually every team has, I call him an enforcer. Shady's using that term, though. I call him an enforcer. But to Shady's point, Kamari Lassiter, an enforcer. Petrie, an enforcer. Daniil Hunter and Will Anderson, an enforcer. Azeez Al-Shaair, an enforcer. So that team has 5 enforcers. And enforcer doesn't necessarily mean great player. Derek Stingley's a great player, but he's not an enforcer. Kalen Bullock is a great player. He's not an enforcer. They have 5 enforcers coupled with all-pro players. And this is why, Care Bear, I don't even know if you remember, you said something during the course of the week like, what if the Texans defense has a bad game? And I stopped you. I said, how? Because in order to have a bad game, you have to have bad within you. Acho can have a bad game. He's athletically limited. You can have players that can have bad games that are intellectually limited. But the Houston Texans have players that are not athletically limited, nor are they intellectually limited. Kamari Lassiter is a brilliant player and a dog. You remember, there's a reason he didn't get called for PI. Not because he didn't necessarily interfere, just because he's not dumb enough to get caught. There were several times where he threw his hands up at the last minute. He might have his hand around his waist. He's going to take it away. Like, they have intellectual players, plus they have physical players. They have intimidators, but they also have brilliant players. This Texans defense isn't going to have a bad game because they don't have bad within them. What's within you is going to come out eventually, but they're all just genuinely that good.
Yeah, no, the Texans are genuinely that good, and it brought me back to this tweet saw on December 30th. This was during the season whenever they were going through their stretch of just dominating people. This graph right here. On the left, it shows you a shell rotation rate. So essentially, which teams are disguising their coverages the most. And then also at the bottom, the graph is showing the blitz rate. The Houston Texans blitz less than anyone in the entire NFL.
Yeah,
they rotate their coverages as little as anyone in the NFL. And guess what they have? The best defense in the NFL. Come to the street, bro. I will beat your ass. That is the type of defense that the Houston Texans play.
Yeah.
And they are unbelievably physical. Like you said, not just the linebackers, Al-Shaair running through people's face. They have Kamari Lassiter and Jalen Petrie coming down and popping you. They wrap up in open space. They're the best defense in the playoffs. And I honestly didn't think I thought the margin was there. I thought, yes, they were clearly number one, but maybe the Broncos had a chance to be one of the top defense. Maybe the Seahawks did. No. The Houston Texans have the best defense in the NFL by far, and probably the best defense that we've seen in the last, I would say, around 10 years since the Broncos won that Super Bowl.
And when you have a great defense, right, it comes like this. You get pressure without sending pressure. So, keep it simple. Yo, they get that type of pressure with sending 4 guys. So that means I got all the other 7 dudes covering, right? So that's what makes it hard to defend, because there's some teams that can't get pressure. So they gotta blitz. They gotta send this guy. They gotta send this guy. Now they don't do that. Listen, dude, we're gonna bring 4 guys up front, right? We got 2 dudes on the end that are animals. What are you gonna do? That's why I think it's gonna be tough for any team to beat them. The only way they can beat them, I think, if CJ Stroud plays the way he played today, for majority of the game, you have a chance. But other than that, because even Aaron Rodgers, I mean, he is older. He ain't trying to get hit. I get it. He's not as mobile as he used to be, but what you gonna do? Because they can defend in the back end too.
No, and what you said, I think, is the key for me as to why I don't think the Texans are a Super Bowl winner this year.
Why?
The offensive side of the ball and what I saw from CJ Stroud was not inspiring.
I don't think he's gonna play like that all the time. Though.
I don't think he's gonna play like that all the time.
CJ's not a bad quarterback. I think he had some stupid moments. I think he was a little. I don't see. Yeah, he was nervous because simple things, like them snaps wasn't bad snaps. Grab the ball and just make the play. Or rushing. You know, I think sometimes in big games and big moments, you might speed up your delivery, your process. I think next game he'll be better. You know, I don't see him playing that bad because he's a good quarterback.
My thing is, though, when things get tight, you can't perform like that in the playoffs. You just can't. You can't. If it turns out, if it ends up being a situation, we need you, tie ball game, to go downfield, give us a game-winning drive against the Bills. Regardless of how good this defense is, I trust Josh Allen to go out there and make it happen. More than I would a CJ Stroud.
Okay, bet more than you would a CJ.
See this thing, and I'm not gonna get to that because it's another topic. But I do think we get so wrapped up in the quarterbacks. That's not the case no more.
Who are you going up against?
It's what defense you going against.
Yeah, right.
And that way, I don't think CJ Stroud has to play a game where I gotta save the day. It might happen.
Yeah.
But the way they want to play after this game, they're gonna go watch tape. Look, CJ, let's let the defense do what they do, and we don't have to rush nothing.
Yeah, let me cook on this 2-5 because you preaching. I think the Texans offense is going to learn after this game. Don't let Stroud lose the game. I think they went into this game thinking okay, Stroud, make enough plays to win. After watching this game, my thought process is Texans, no turnovers. Hey, offense, no turnovers. We're going to give you the ball in good field goal position. We can win a game with 5 field goals. Now, Stroud,
Yeah.
I would like to get more than that, but we can win a game with 5 field goals. The Houston Texans haven't allowed 20 points in a game where their starters started the game and finished the game, not counting Week 18 versus the Colts, since November 9th, Jacksonville Jags, if I'm not mistaken, where they allowed 29, and even then 36, and even then CJ Stroud wasn't there. When I look at this Texans team, it's very simple for me. Offense, don't lose the game. Defense will win it. I also agree with Shady in that Stroud's not going to play this bad again.
Hell no.
Several factors at play. Playoff game on the road, cold as hell. Stroud, you know what I mean? Like several factors at play. Stroud's not going to play this bad again. And in all honesty, like, I don't know if a defense is going to turn him over this
you know
much.
what he has next week, though?
We got Kalen Bullock calling.
Okay.
We have
I'll come right now.
Kalen Bullock, safety for the Houston Texans, calling right now. He is calling right now. Y'all know in the speakeasy. Y'all know what it is. We got Bullock calling right now. Make sure you drop the tweet, Social Trey. Make sure the world knows. Make sure the world knows. Make sure the world knows you do not get